Well, folks, the results are coming in. We will see you later.
Again, as you just heard, leaders are blaming a coding issue with a new mobile app for the delay in getting the results from the Iowa Caucus. Presidential candidates are moving ahead now in their quest for a nomination.
Yeah, the confusion and delay have some questioning the relevance of the caucus process. News 5's John Kosick right here with us to break it all down.
Yeah, we woke up this morning not knowing who won Iowa, but we had a pretty good idea who lost. Iowa and the candidates looking for a bounce out of it heading into New Hampshire.
I think it's going to be now known as the Iowa blunder.
The Iowa Democratic Party blaming inconsistencies in reporting for the delayed release of the results that are being blamed in part on an app introduced this year aimed to help the process. News 5 political analyst Dr. Tom Sutton watched it all from Bettendorf, Iowa, and said the confusion started before that.
What we saw was sort of a semi-organized chaos. Some people did their hand counts by put your hand down when I've counted you off. Others were just sort of counting through. One guy I watched was sitting in the back, and he was on the second round count, and he put his hand up. Nobody saw it. I'm sure he didn't get counted. So it really was about as chaotic as you can imagine.
Those looking for a bounce out of Iowa didn't let the lack of results stop them from taking a victory lap.
We are going on to New Hampshire victorious.
The Democratic Party of Iowa is taking the heat. The reality is the Republican process of voting on scraps of paper doesn't always work any smoother. Ask Rick Santorum, who learned he beat Mitt Romney in 2012, 2.5 weeks after the caucus. Too late to stop Romney's momentum.
It really does indict the caucus process in general. I think there's another sign of that in that we had at least a half dozen states with caucuses in 2016 that have dropped them and gone to primaries. We're down to about 5 states this year using caucuses still, including what we saw in Iowa last night.
And one of those states, though, being Nevada, whose voters will do their caucusing in just 18 days. That's of note because Nevada reportedly will also be using the same app to report their final results.
And John, even for the candidate that eventually wins, this is not the atmosphere that you want to win amidst chaos and now skepticism about the process.
Well, and that plays into it. You want that bounce out of Iowa. It's not about the 41 delegates. There are more than 4,700 delegates out there. That's less than 1/10 of 1% of the votes. What you want is to get that press eating into that tonight. And the first results that we do have them coming in has Pete Buttigieg leading by 26.9%. Bernie Sanders, 25.1, Warren, then Biden. Biden now can question the validity of these results. So he benefits from this because he doesn't have the negative press. Pete Buttigieg, and again, this is only with 62% of the vote in right now.
Right.
So we still got some more to come in. Pete Buttigieg loses that bounce today because you got the State of the Union tonight, you got impeachment tomorrow. Then we're on to New Hampshire. 62% of the precincts reporting it.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, John. Of course, keep it right here on News 5. We will give you those updates as soon as more become available.